Welcome back to a tiny slice of Japan, because for 20 points this week in winter of Series 35 you can go ahead and grab yourself the Toyota Yaris from 2021. Do you think now we have that we'll get the Corolla too? So this minuscule marvel contains 257 brake horsepower, 265 foot-pounds of torque, while weighing just a shade under 2,890 pounds with a 1.62 litre engine. And to be honest, from the front, this thing looks really mean. Although you get to the side and realise, oh hey, it's actually tiny. And then going to the back, it kind of resembles, I guess, something like the new Nissan Micra, I guess, with the paint colour scheme or something. But it does look pretty cool indeed. Going to the inside, we've got ourselves a right-hand drive car this time around. And if you press down on the left stick, you'll see that little bit on the centre of the dash can change from sport to track mode and back. And there goes another one. I did not expect there to be another Yaris in this intro. Going to our left, we've got ourselves a nice little infotainment system, and now let's go ahead and take ourselves a listen to this tiny little machine. Okay, so here we are now in the upgrade shop. We're going to jump straight to conversion for one good reason. Or maybe make that two, because we're starting out with engine swaps where we've got a few to choose from. We've got a 2.6 litre inline 6, we've got a 1.6 litre inline 4, we've also got ourselves a racing 3 litre inline 6 turbo, and a racing V6, which is absolutely mental. But the madness does also continue, because not only can we shove a 2J in this thing, we can also go ahead and make it look like this. We can make it look even more evil than it did at the start with the Rocket Bunny wide body kit, or we can go ahead and put a Yaris on a Yaris. I'm so proud of that pun. Going to aero and appearance for the front bumper, we've got nothing but Forza aero, which is honestly a little bit of a shame considering the customization for the rest of the car. Going to the rear wing, we've got the massive Rocket Bunny rear wing. I mean, look, you could have your dinner off that. And then we get to the Yaris rear wing, which is tiny, subtle, and it does actually look quite nice indeed, and kind of really keeps in with the car's sort of shape and body line already. We do also have the option to have a couple of extra different bonnets. We've got the Rocket Bunny one here, which just well, basically includes a couple of hood pins, and then we've got the Yaris one, which is, oh hey, wait, you can actually see part of the engine through that. That's cool. But what is equally as cool is the fact that our resident mechanic is back once again. Big Macintosh 762 has gone ahead and made us a cool little race build. So let's go ahead and haul up the share code. In fact, there we go. There's a lot of 1s, 3s and 0s in this one. Let's go ahead and download it. So with those upgrades applied, we're now at £2,536 with just under 320 brake horsepower at the top of A-Class for only 68,450 credits. But wait, there's more. Because now we're over at the paint shop. We go to advanced, there's nothing there, but if we go over to manufacturer colours, we've got ourselves a whopping 1, 2, 3 different manufacturer colours for this car. And to be honest, that red, I don't know, I'm not usually a massive fan of red cars, but the red and the black, this just works too well. And as evil as it may look, it will still not beat Horizon saving times. So this is the GR Yaris with the Rocket Bunny wide body kit, which looks honestly absolutely demonic, and I love it. But if you want one, there's a lot, because there's 32,000 of these things, and Toyota show no sign of stopping anytime soon. And away we go! We have got ourselves a pretty cool looking Yaris, and we've got to try and get from 8th all the way up to 1st place. Now I'm told this thing is a bit more of a grip build, and honestly just in the first sort of, I guess out the gate, I can definitely tell the grip on this thing. And going to the first turn, this thing is nuts. It just holds the road like glue. Why is there an Evo here? No, my spot, give it back. So, if you wanted one of these, not only are there 32,000 and more, but it'll cost you anywhere between 44,000 to 60,000 pounds to buy one of these things new. I'll have that in USD hopefully up on here now. And if you want to buy one of these things used, while we're going through the absolute just chaos that is trying to get around this corner, you can get one of these used for £25,000 and up, which is also this in US dollar, where I do a lot of editing work on that one, and a lot of maths as well. But in the meantime, while we're doing all of that, we have sailed into a rather nice 1st place. Now the main question is, can I keep it to the end of the race, because this thing is not quick, but it can turn at a moment's notice. Which, to be honest, is kind of what you want a car to do. I mean, if I bought a car and it didn't turn, I think I'd be very confused, and quite alarmed. Jumping back in now at 95%, we've got one more turn to go. The finish line is just there. There's a sizable gap between us and literally everybody else on this track. See, I remembered not to call it a circuit this time. And we've got ourselves a wonderful 1st place and a time of 2 minutes 11. Well, that was a very interesting and indeed productive race, but now we've got another couple things to look at. So if I go back over to fine tuning setups, we've got to go ahead and wait for them to load for a minute, but we should see, there we go, there's a drag tune that has also been built for us by Mr. Big Macintosh. So let's go ahead, haul up the share code, there we go, a bunch of numbers there. Let's go ahead and install it and see what we're about to get ourselves into. And the answer to that is nearly £2,700 in weight with a whopping 1,270 brake horsepower for 93.4 grand. Okay, now here we are over at the back of the Festool. Let's go ahead and see, do we get a wheelie check? No, but I believe if we go ahead and do this, we get a different kind of wheelie check instead. This is brilliant. I wonder if that means I can make this thing tip over. Again, I wish I had that many credits, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and line ourselves up here, and I was told exclusively to launch this thing in second, so away we go. Let's go ahead and see what we get out of this thing. We've got ourselves up into third. That was actually a really smooth launch as well, no wheel spin, no nothing. Right, up through the camera, hopefully, at, see, 206.91, and let's go ahead and see across the edge of the runway at 226, and a real mess up of words, and no brakes! Why does this happen every time? Well, after a very interesting run on the drag strip, now we get to have a little bit of fun with this, so we're going to go ahead, go to body kit, and throw on the Yaris kit, we've not yet actually used that, and we're going to throw in the racing 3-litre inline 6 turbo, and we're also going to go ahead and, I think, where's the good old favourites? There they are, good old fancy semi-slick race tyres. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, flames. Yeah, we need flames. Now, I don't know what it is, but something about this thing tells me it is going to be absolutely manic when we get out to the motorway. So let's go ahead and also throw on race springs and dampers. And to finish it off, we're going to go with some race anti-roll bars at the front and also some race anti-roll bars at the back. And now I've got to go ahead and tune this thing. So give me a minute. Gearing. I love working with this. That's a lie. But you know what isn't? This week's Forzathon shop, we have got the McLaren Speedtail from 2019, we've got the Last Man Standing Forza Link phrase, we've got the Hot Wheels Ice Car Home, it sounds a bit like this. Very cool. We've also got ourselves the AMG Transport Dynamics Warthog from Halo, we've also got ourselves the Horizon Raptors cap, the Super Wheel Spin and the regular Horizon Wheel Spin as well. And now let's go ahead and make some wheel spins of our own and take this thing out to the motorway. And now we play the regular sort of, I guess, mini game in each video of how close do we get to the motorway grate. And hopefully, I think this time we might be close enough. Am I in front? I'm part behind it this time. Okay, maybe I've gone a bit too far back. And there we go. Well, nearly. There we go, that's better. Right, we're now here over at the edge on the motorway, so let's go ahead and get ourselves onto launch control. And like I said earlier, let's make some wheel spin and go and find out the top speed of this thing. It's very light, with a dumb amount of power. I'm really hoping for a good top speed. Before we get to the end of this top speed run, go ahead and let me know in the comments now what speed you reckon this thing will get. Especially considering we are well over 200 already. And out of the speed zone at 229.34, and we still have the downhill and speed camera and that Mazda to go. Well, I mean, the Mazda was taken care of, but still. And through the camera at 231.31, going downhill, 233, 234, do we get any more? 235 out of this absolutely tiny being of a vehicle, but tiny being with a very big top speed, especially given what this thing is. But I'm not done with it yet, because if you've been following these videos, you know exactly where this is heading. And of course, the answer to that is sideways, so let's go ahead, throw this thing into the drift zone and see what our tiny little Yaris can do. This thing kind of reminds me of what the Nissan Serial was when it was first introduced, with being tiny and a stupid amount of power. But we got around there, and I think that was 38,000 something in points. So let's go ahead, get ourselves lined up for round 2 and see what we get. I totally didn't get distracted talking about this thing. Okay, we're back in track mode. This is round number 2. Let's go ahead and see what we've got. 38,000 points to beat. Can we beat it? We are very sideways, extremely sideways right now at 42,463 points. That is madness, especially out of this thing. The tiny Japanese bean has done it again. In the meantime, that is this video on the Toyota GR Yaris. In fact, in case you're wondering, the GR in this stands for Toyota's Gazoo Racing Department, which is honestly a pretty cool little fun fact that I bet you didn't know, but now you do. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Like I've said already, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Check out. See ya! Question is, what car's next?